few honest politicians. They did exist then. Sports stars. So these were all people, a lot of them fairly young, and some of them fairly old, who had not really got the kind of recognition that I believe they deserved. And that was a huge challenge, and I enjoyed that very much. So we were in the process of consolidating not just the magazine, the title, the name, the brand, all of it, and then circumstances, dictated otherwise. Today, what has set in is a great amount of corruption in the creation of celebrities. I have a problem with that. Today, you can buy your way into celebrityhood. You can pay a PR company and say, I'm giving you X amount, and you've got 6 months to create a brand out of me. And it's happening. Today, almost every famous person across the world is managed by celebrity and event managers. I find that is kind of soul-destroying, because if recognition doesn't come easily to you, it's a pity. I would say just struggle that much harder, work that much harder, and it will, because if you have substance, if there is something within you that's propelling you to excel, you will get your recognition. But to buy it, I mean, for me, that's very demeaning. So today, yes, the ball game has changed. On the other hand, exactly like Anupam said, there are small town boys and girls across India with big dreams who have achieved what they have without godfathers, without paying for it, whether it's in cricket. Look at some of those young boys and some of the girls from our cricket team and some of those who went and represented India, sporting events internationally. These are our big heroes, but do we put them in the same category as just a model or a Sunny Leone, for example, who made her career as an adult film actress? That's a polite word for porn star, and came to India and has re-imaged herself, which is good for her. I mean, fantastic. These are both career options. She's grabbed and made the most of those options. But can we really put her in the same category as who I would consider, say, a Dhoni or a Tendulkar or any of them? Today, they all fall under the one big umbrella of celebrity. So I have issues with that. I think we need to create categories where we distinguish between a Paris Hilton who comes to India, we all fall over backwards. She's come there to sell handbags at whatever price, and we call her a super celebrity and we have her on the front pages of our newspapers. And we completely ignore true achievers. So for me, I really, as a journalist, I have a problem with that one.
Kher sir, your take, why this grey area? Why don't we have images as personalities?
I personally for a long time thought that celebrity has to be respected. If it is not, respect is not involved, then he is not a celebrity. So I have maybe a problem with what is a celebrity. Is a celebrity somebody, Charles Shobhaa is also a celebrity that he gets written about. Thieves, rapists, people they get written about. Negative thing is very exciting. People who are into a certain kind of smuggling. For me, till today, I feel celebrity has to be somebody who I look up to, who I feel that, okay, I need to take this away from him. I need to sort of learn this trait from him. I was born in independent India, but for a long time, I think we had our national leaders, our people we could look up to, and they made me feel very proud. Depending on what is your time span of being a celebrity. This 15 minutes of fame, everybody will get that. So how many people we remember of those people? Do we remember anybody whose photograph was in yesterday's newspaper? We don't. Also, media has played a very strange role in this. What used to be, according to me, many years back, what used to be on the 11th or 10th page is now on the front page. Means rape, news about rape, about murders, they used to be on 11th or 12th page. So as a Agatha Christie person, one used to first go to that page and then read the other important thing. So our whole connotation of being written about celebrities, I feel that today positive things have become very boring. If somebody says nice things, he's a boring guy. If somebody says cool things, he's a negative thing, he's a cool dude. I think to me, being honest and being straight and being hardworking is very cool. So depending on what you actually want out of life, it's my perception of, as an actor, I get to meet a lot of people who say we are not interested in movies. You see, it's a new nonsense of people who look down upon on, oh, he's a Hindi film actor. I always get a lot of people, typical people in the business class of any airlines. I see from a long distance that this is a guy who will sit next to me and they will ignore me. so he's a typical guy. He's wearing a blue shirt and a khaki trouser and he's well clean shaven. And he has an Economic Times or a Business Standard in his hand. And he asks for a black coffee without sugar or an orange juice. And then he takes off and I'm having anda paratha. And then he will think that, oh, now I have ignored this guy. And he knows everything about me. I've ignored. So he will ask the most idiotic question at the end of the journey. Going to Delhi? So many times I say, really, this aircraft is going to Delhi? I was going to Bangalore. I find it very comical. I find a certain amount of celebrities very, very comical. There are a lot of people who come to all us and say that this is my. If you have to put in your biodata pictures of some ad that you've done or something written about, then you are not a celebrity. If you have to say what you have done, etc., etc., then there is something wrong with you. So I find people who pretend to be celebrities, they are very comical. You know, I think it's something to do with your own personality. Persona is something that you either like yourself, you don't like yourself. I think Gandhiji, it was a great personality. He invented Gandhi cap and never wore it. So thousands of people wearing a white cap and there is a bald guy. So how long do you stay? Mr. Bachchan, Dilip Saab, look at the actors, 40 years, 50 years. Shobhaa is there for many years.
40.
So there is a body of work that goes on. I will say at 29 years I have been on this, and I'm on this panel, so I'm still happy. So I think this is a kind of a perception you have to see.
You look 26, why were you saying 40?
I wonder, I think, no, but seriously, 42 years since I started Stardust, since the very first issue of Stardust.
What many people don't realize is the usage of English language has, in India, changed over the last few years, but it was actually Shobhaa Day when she began that very typical style of writing English or using Indian phraseology.
I have to make a confession. When I first came to Bombay, I was desperate to meet Shobhaa Day. I said, if she sees my play and she writes 2 lines about me, I will be a celebrity. And it's not, and my wife Kiran, and we did a play before we got married, a play called Desire Under the Elves. And Kiran was married to Gautam, and she came to see our rehearsal in her earlier house, and she wrote 2 lines. And those lines were, he is a mixture of a saint and a sinner on stage. That's what made my day.
While we're in anecdotal mood, let me remind you, in case you've forgotten, and I have my daughter sitting here with me. She's a Piscean like you are, and you came to our home, you were hungry, and you said, don't worry about going to the kitchen and making something for me, I'll go make it myself. And he went and he made himself an omelette, and next thing I know, he's sitting with a pack of cards. She was a toddler at the time, and creating a house of cards.
Yes.
And he turned around and he said to me, this little girl is likely to grow up and become an actress. How do I know? Because I'm a Piscean, she's a Piscean, we are natural born actors. So we go back a long way.
Yes.
It's a wonderful feeling, in fact, to grow together, and we are so proud of your success. And as a lot of people here may know, he was in the latest Oscar-nominated movie, Silver Linings, in which he played a psychiatrist. And it wasn't a walk-on role, and you didn't have to speak with a desi, funny accent and be caricatural. You were yourself, and you were so dignified and wonderful, and it made us feel really good.
Thank you.
Coming back to the topic again, the last 22 years in India, after the reforms, liberalization, have been actually the most something fundamentally changed in India. The socio-economic makeover of India since 91 has been fantastic. I don't think India has changed as much as it has in this 22 years than the last 100 years. And it has brought in many positive benefits to our existence, the economic growth, the recognition of Indian talent, professionals worldwide, NRIs like you making your mark, India becoming part of G20, etc. In many ways, a power which matters. But there is a poverty of role models, poverty of positive figures. The celebrityhood is become a grey area. How would you explain that? Is that too much scrutiny by the media, in the sense that anybody who comes into the media sort of just goes into every pore of that person's existence and is bound to pull out something negative, so by definition nobody can be a figure who is absolutely clean?
The media is a hungry beast, but at the end of it all we are doing our job. If there is someone in the public domain, that person is accountable to the public. It's as simple as that. There is a responsibility that goes with that position and with that power. Apart from that, if we're talking about just the light-hearted entertainment side of media, that again is fueled by gossip and masala. Anywhere in the world, no one is spared. In fact, I'd say in India we are slightly kinder to our politicians than they are, for example, in the UK or in the US, where there is no question of getting away with anything. Whereas in India, I mean, if you look at it, we have people with criminal records. We've got tax evaders. We've even got rapists in Parliament. So what scrutiny are we talking about? We need much more. I mean, we need to make them much more accountable than they are at the moment. The other aspect of that is that, yes, media today is in overdrive. It's all about fighting for those ratings. It's a competitive field. We have many more players than we ever had before. India itself, we have many more literate middle class and upper middle class people, and the rural population which is interested. They watch TV, they watch keenly. The next election is going to be a very important election. We cannot let go of this opportunity. We must use media, maximize the positive use of media, and also put things into perspective. I mean, a lot of spin-offs in the last year, in particular, have been thanks to media scrutiny and media attention. Like Anna Hazare, like Arvind Kejriwal. These two would not have existed outside the oxygen bubble that was provided by media and a very interested public. Or even cases like the Nirbhaya case was driven by the public and by media. It was not at all. The state have distanced themselves totally from it till the nth minute. So, or even whether it's the Arushi case or the Jessica Lal case, the media has played a very important role. Yes, sometimes we do go overboard, sometimes there is the kind of vicarious coverage and voyeuristic coverage of an event or even a tragedy. But that's again part of a worldwide phenomenon of media playing games of one-upmanship. There's the upside, which I think outweighs the downside most of the time.
So why no role models around?
I think things are changing so fast. I feel that it's a very small example, when we play Antakshari, we go back to old songs. Because we had time to listen to them, the lyric writer had time to write it, singer had time to sing it. We are running fast nowhere in today's time. We have, and media is playing a very important role, even though I agree with Shobhaa. But it's also not letting any role model exist. If Dhoni plays well,